Hi guys, my name is Karen. Brittany and I are so glad that you are here. And let me tell you, I am personally just coming off of just a time of rest. And I think it's just so incredible that I'm coming off of this season of rest into sharing with you why and how I got started with this business, because it's been in this last week of rest that I've had that I've really gotten to kind of sit back and reevaluate when I got started, how I got started, why I got started. And it always brings me to almost tears because I still cannot believe that every day I get to come and share my life and basically link arms and help people and call that what I do full time. So just a little bit about me. I am a first-time mom to an almost year-old, and my husband is a second-year resident doctor, and we've moved like 3 times in the last 5 years. And right now we are in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and it has been a whirlwind. So before Team Beachbody, I am a licensed social worker. And so my background has been in case management and therapy and supervising in mental health centers. And while I absolutely loved, what I did, I knew I was made for more. I remember going into the social work field, totally telling all of my advisors and my parents and my husband, boyfriend at the time, that I didn't want to be a therapist. I wanted all the social work skills, but I didn't want the social work typical job. I wanted to be like a life coach somehow. And so I didn't know what that was going to look like, but I just went through my path and took things one day at a time. And here's what I can tell you. 6 years ago, you would not recognize the person I used to be. She's very different. I have just come a long way by the grace of God and through these tools that we're going to be sharing with you, because that Karen was battling so many different things. I have battled depression, anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorder, binge eating disorder, almost anorexia. And, I'm the mental health counselor, right? Like, I know these things. I know the DSM. I know what qualifies as a diagnosis. And, I look back in that season of my life and it's like, how did I get there? Why did I get there? And I never really understood how to get healthy from the inside out, how to maintain health in a healthy way. And so before I got started with Beachbody in general, because I'll tell you, like, I was a customer for 2.5 years before I became a coach. And that's a story I'm going to give you just a little bit more about in just a second. But I remember just feeling so passionate about fitness. I really was. I was overweight in all of middle school and high school. I moved from Egypt to America in the year 2000 and did no sports, felt really out of place in the beginning. And all I did was I ate my emotions. I felt like I was an immigrant in a new land with a new language. I had no friends. And so food became my friend. And when college came, I really just wanted to get healthy. And I think my intentions were pure, but I did it all the wrong way. I was starving myself. I was working out over 2 hours a day. And I couldn't love myself. Like, truly, until you embrace and love who you are in that moment, you can't work on yourself well. Like, you can simultaneously love who you are and work on yourself. I couldn't figure that out. And so I went down a really dark path, and I didn't give God the pen to write my health chapter. I took control, and I messed it all up. I lost my period for a year. My hair was falling out. It was a hot mess. And I just remember reaching the end of my rope. And I remember that I just started to pray, and I was like, I need a new pair of eyes. I need to see myself differently. Like, I need this to change. You can't live a transformed life without a renewed mind, right? So I cried out, and I was like, I'm done. Like, your way, not my way. And slowly, I started to go to the YMCA in Maine at the time, and I met some amazing people there. And I started to kind of figure out how to get healthy in the right way. But there were still some pieces of my life that were still a mess. I was a calorie counter at the time, 6 years addicted to MyFitnessPal. There's nothing wrong with the app. I just used it the wrong way. 6 years, and it was a genuine addiction. Like, I thought I was controlling it. It was 100% controlling me. I'd be out to dinner with my husband on it 24/7, logging in meals from not just a day in advance, 3 days in advance, 4 days in advance. And I remember one night I came home, and I just felt that call to delete that app. And you guys, this is going to sound so lame, but I was like weeping in my husband's arms in like a fetal position, so afraid I was going to lose control. But it was time to delete that app that had control over me for so long. I deleted it. And the next day, one of the gym instructors came to me and she was like, Karen, have you ever considered becoming a personal trainer? Because you'd be amazing. And I was like, yeah, I think about it all the time, but I've never entered that door because this is my issue, right? Like fitness is my issue. I can't possibly lead people when it's such a problem for me. And I started to pray about it, and I felt this peace to move forward. So I did, and I got my certification, and I started to teach, and I loved it. I did everything in the gym. But while we were in Maine, my husband said to me, I need you to find me a home-based workout program. He's a runner, and he had no time in medical school to drive to gyms or do anything. And he was like, I just need to do something at home that isn't going to waste any time and get me results. And I just looked at him in all seriousness, and I was like, baby, like, home workouts don't work. And he said, I don't really have an option. And I wanted to be a supportive wife. So I was like, all right, I'm going to be great. I'm going to love you. And so I got the craziest program out there that I had heard about called Insanity. And we did it for 60 days. I committed to doing it with him because I love supporting him. And I just wanted to see what this was all about. And not only did I see physical results, it wasn't even about that. Like, yes, I gained endurance like I never had endurance before. My body changed in ways I'd never seen before. But beyond all of that, this started to change because you were counting colors. There were, I was reading up on a lot of things, and there were these containers, and you count nutrients, not calories, and there was so much food. I was like, they're not starving you. Like, how's this going to work? How's this going to work? But it did. And so instantly I had heard about this whole coaching thing, and I understood a little bit about it. Like, okay, you're kind of like a cheerleader. Like you're leading by example, and you just help people. And I wanted to do it right away. But God said no. And I was like, no, like this is way up my alley. Why not? But I chose to obey. And let me tell you, in that 2.5-year wait, I totally almost did it myself a million times, where you just want to like steal the pen from God and be like, no, I'm going to write this part. But every time, my husband is actually the one that stopped me, he's not a man of many words. He's very much an introvert. So when he speaks, I listen. And I remember I was following a woman named Michelle Myers. If you don't follow her, man, go follow her. Loves the Lord, loves her family, loves fitness, and making it an extension of your worship. And I was like, she's just amazing. I followed her for like a year, totally creeped on her for a long time. And then there was one day she was talking about adding to Team Iron. And I was like, I don't know what that is, because I never knew she was a Beachbody coach, never. And I was like, but it's Michelle, and I'd love to work with her. And I just went on a limb, and I just checked out the application. I saw the words Beachbody, and I said, X. For 2.5 years, God said no, so why now? I come home and I tell my husband about it, just very nonchalant, and he was like, talk to Michelle. And I was like, okay. So I did. An hour and a half, I was crying on the phone. I don't cry a lot, so yeah, that's when I know like something's happening. And it was in that moment, I saw the green light, and I was wondering like, why now? And here's what I learned, you guys. I hope that you're just kind of hanging tight with me here, because this is what's going to craft. You're going to hear Brittany and I's hearts for you. This is why I want to introduce ourselves, because this is way bigger than just making money. It's way bigger. And I remember in that moment, I was like, why now? And it was because I had to wait for Michelle. You see, I really wanted to do this business God's way. I didn't want to look like the world. I didn't want to lead a entrepreneur team like the world. I didn't want people who were just going to be money hungry and greedy and get lost in the flashy things. I wanted women of integrity. But you know what? I was going to be influenced by who I followed, because sisters, we look like our leaders. And I had many people presenting network marketing companies to me all the time. And the question that came back to me is, am I passionate about it? Would I use everything that's a part of it without compensation? And the team, what does the integrity of the team look like? Is it people that will build me up, or are they going to tear me down? Are they people that will push me toward my vision and my goal and the Lord, or are they going to draw me away? It was Michelle. If I was going to do my business God's way, I had to follow somebody else doing it God's way. And here I am, over 2 years later, and so humbled every day. This is how it's become my calling. I'm not perfect. I still struggle. I still battle. I have a lot of scars. But it's not about perfect people leading people. It's about broken people leading broken people. But here's the difference. There's hope. I have this hope. And I believe, we will believe in the women that we work with until they believe in themselves. And if you're just somebody who has a heart for people, and yes, you also want to bust out of financial debt, like, I really don't think there's anything wrong with desiring to make money. But here's where it becomes a problem. Is it just for the love of money, or is it because of what money can do? So for me, I have my vision board legit right in front of me every single day. And every day I look at it. We are $400,000 in debt because of medical school. That's $400,000 that's not going to go to my kids' college fund. That's $400,000 I can't help but be generous with. So I'm on a mission. I'm not close to that yet, but I'm going to get there. I'm determined. I'm going to get there. So it's not about the money, it's that the money can break my family out of debt. The money can help me help my parents because my mom quit her job and they're struggling. The money can help me just be generous more. The money can help, just in so many ways. So it's okay to desire to help your family. It's okay to have the desire to grow a business, and that's okay. But just remember, for both Brittany and I, because we're best friends and sisters in Christ and accountability partners and business partners, and we were drawn to each other because we have the same exact mission. For us, it is way bigger about purpose than it is about the paycheck. But here's the cool thing. When you lead with purpose, the paycheck follows. Because when you lead with integrity and when you lead with love, people trust you and people want to work with you. So we're excited to share more with you tomorrow night, really about the nitty-gritty details of what this business looks like. But we just wanted to start by telling you our stories because we're not here by accident, and I don't believe you're here by an accident either. So stay tuned. Make sure you introduce yourself in the post below and ask any questions. We are so transparent. We're not here to deceive you or hide things or sugarcoat things, so please ask questions. We love you guys. Thanks for hearing my story.